Shh. Be very, very quiet. I'm hunting rabbits.
When you hear the question, "What's up, Doc?" who immediately comes to mind? Probably not a doctor. Your neighbor or a dwarf? Of course, it's Bugs Bunny. It's the most well-known catchphrase in the world.
What's up, Doc?
But what if Bugs was more than just a squooey wabbit?
Pardon me, but you look just like a rabbit.
Maybe he was one of America's most influential role models. Welcome to the Maybe Files, where nostalgia gets weird.
Say, you wouldn't be that screwy rabbit, would you?
Could be.
Bugs Bunny has been influencing us for generations. But here's the thing. Bugs didn't win with teamwork. He didn't encourage kindness. What Bugs Bunny did show us was this. If you can cheat and lie and get away with it, then you deserve to win.
Say, you know what I think? I think that's the rabbit.
And humiliating your enemies? That's just an added bonus. Bugs wasn't born on Saturday mornings. That was his second act. He was a movie star, smoking, drinking, and even cross-dressing like a vaudeville pro. He was designed for adults, not kids. By the time he showed up on Saturday morning, his worldview was already locked in.
Opportunity for career in television. About time television discovered my talents.
Rules are for suckers. Survival comes from the con. Maybe that ethos explains more about modern America than we'd like to admit. So, how deep does the rabbit hole really go?
Overture, curtains, lights, this is it, we'll hit the heights. What heights we'll hit, on with the show, this is it.
It is so sad. All your knowledge of high culture comes from Bugs Bunny cartoons.
Tricksters are ancient. The world has always had them. Among Native American peoples, there's Coyote. Clever, reckless, always finding a way to survive through cunning. Literature is full of tricksters. Robin Hood turned deception into justice, using disguise and wit to expose the greed of the powerful. And in Shakespeare's England, the trickster put on tights and spoke in riddles. His plays were full of pranksters and clever sprites, who turned chaos into comedy, mocked the powerful, and always had the last laugh. Bugs Bunny wasn't even the first trickster rabbit. Long before the wisecracking wabbit hit the screen, there was Br'er Rabbit, a smooth-talking survivor from African-American folklore.
What you doing up there?
Oh, keeping the crows out the cornfield. You'd make a mighty fine scarecrow, Brother Bear.
Born out of West African oral traditions and reshaped in the American South by enslaved storytellers, Br'er Rabbit used brains instead of brawn to turn the tables on the powerful. His humor was his weapon. His language, his escape hatch.
Brother Bear. Look at that. Look at him standing over there. See that? See that? You done made a fool out you, you fool.
He did.
Of course he did.
And in the 20th century, there was Groucho Marx with his trademark prop cigar in hand, eyebrows arched, humiliating pompous authority figures with a smirk.
Welcome, welcome to UB2I. Say the magic word and you win $100. Now, what is your name, sir, and what do you do?
One morning, I shot an elephant in my pajamas. How he got in my pajamas, I don't know.
Originally, Bugs Bunny starred in the cartoon shorts that were played before movies in theaters. His audience was mostly adults, couples on dates, soldiers on leave, people who smoked too much, drank too much, and thought rabbits in drag were hilarious.
I would just love a duck dinner.
From his first big hit, A Wild Hare in 1940, he wasn't some plucky underdog. He was a manipulator who reveled in making his enemies look like fools. By the 1960s, the Trickster Kingdom had a new heir apparent.
Good heavens, he disintegrated.
What's up, Doc? How are things down here on Earth?
Bugs hopped off the big screen and onto television, and by 1962 into Saturday mornings, where kids inherited him. Parents often forgot that Bugs wasn't created for kids.
Everybody's looking at you.
They are? Well, let them whoop, Mac.
Shh! Be quiet, you crazy dumb rabbit. You're ruining my show.
And Warner Brothers didn't just run with it. They made Bugs the mascot. Maybe that wasn't an accident, because meanwhile, over at Disney, Mickey Mouse was basically America's choir boy. Plucky, wholesome. His biggest crime was whistling too loudly on a steamboat. If Mickey had a motto, it was, "Wish upon a star and your dreams will come true." Bugs's motto was closer to, "Be careful what you wish for. I might show up in your nightmares."
The rabbits are coming, hooray, hooray. 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 Oh, mighty warrior of great fighting stock, might I inquire to ask if, what's up, Doc?
And here's the irony. Today, Mickey Mouse is slang for something worthless. A Mickey Mouse degree? A joke. A Mickey Mouse operation? Amateur hour. Mickey got scrubbed so squeaky clean he dissolved into triviality. But Bugs? He never got neutered. He stayed dangerous. He stayed cool. By the 1960s, plenty of kids were modeling themselves after Bugs, copying his swagger, his rule-breaking. For them, Mickey felt too soft, too squeaky clean.
I finally caught you, didn't I?
Bugs, by comparison, looked a little mean. A boys' cartoon built on humiliation. We'll have more on Mickey in the next episode. For now, let's take a closer look at Bugs. And that's where things get darker. What if the joy wasn't entirely in the winning?
Well, while you're making up your mind, I'll go slip out of these wet clothes and into a dry martini, huh?
You know what to do with that gun, Doc. You're despicable.
Bugs doesn't just win, he humiliates. In What's Opera, Doc, he seduces Elmer in full Wagnerian drag.
Return, my love. I want you always beside me.
And in Duck-Amuck, he doesn't just humiliate Daffy. He dismantles him piece by piece until the cartoon itself is the punchline. Because if Elmer was the punching bag, Daffy was the sparring partner. Daffy wasn't noble or wholesome. He was greedy, insecure, desperate to steal the spotlight. And that made his humiliation even funnier.
Listen, bud, if you wasn't me, I'd smack you right in the puss. Don't let that bother you, Jack. Okay, buddy, you asked for it. Ha! That's it! Hold it right there! Pronoun trouble. It's not he doesn't have to shoot you now. It's he doesn't have to shoot me now.
The Duck Season, Rabbit Season shorts turned it into a running ritual. Bugs outsmarts Elmer, and Daffy ends up with his beak blasted off, over and over. Daffy tries to be a trickster too, but standing next to Bugs, he's the amateur, the wannabe, the eternal loser.
Not again.
And unlike Yogi Bear, who always had Ranger Smith hovering nearby, Bugs answers to no one. There was no boo-boo as his conscience. We laughed because Elmer was stupid, because Daffy was pathetic. Bugs gave us the guilty thrill of enjoying humiliation as comedy. And that's the point. The real punchline wasn't in the victory.
I did that because I want my program to go over with a bang.
Humiliating Elmer Fudd was one thing. Humiliating Hitler was another.
Who are you? Huh? Ain't I a stinker? Now tell me, just between the two of us, what season is it, really? Don't be so naive, Buster. Why, everybody knows it's really duck season. You're despicable.
When America entered World War II, Bugs Bunny found himself drafted. The pun writes itself. Warner Brothers wasn't taking orders from Washington. Cartoons had become part of the war effort. They sold tickets. Audiences loved seeing their enemies mocked.
Sieg Heil, boy. I'm from South Germany.
And it lined up with what Hollywood saw as its patriotic duty.
I knew I should have made a left turn at Albuquerque.
In the 1945 cartoon Hair Meets Hair, he humiliates Die Herren Göring und Hitler. In Bugs Bunny Nips the Nips, he mocks Japanese soldiers with a grotesque caricature. Wartime propaganda at its bluntest. It would seem ridicule was patriotic.
Heil me. Look, single-handed I have captured that American rabbit, sir, Boxenheimer Bunny. That's good, yeah. It's good, no, yeah, it's good.
America doesn't just fight. America outsmarts. America mocks. And here's a twist. Suddenly, ridicule felt like a weapon anyone and everyone could wield. You didn't need a rifle. You just needed a wisecrack. Bugs weaponized humor. He made the con into a national virtue. These cartoons reassured Americans that quick wit and mockery could triumph over brute force. That comedy was part of the arsenal of democracy. But what happens when a nation adopts ridicule not just on the battlefield, but at home?
Oh, honorable. Aha. That are not a Japanese general. Oh, no. That are Bugs Bunny. Hayati in Warner Brother, Rion Strategia, Mary Meredith cartoon picture. Oh, yes, Eno for me. Watch out, honorable doctor.
Here's the big picture. Bugs normalized the idea that the clever cheat deserves to win, and America took that lesson to heart. The hustler on the car lot in his loud plaid jacket, the carnival midway where every milk bottle was weighted and every ring toss rigged, or the land salesman with glossy brochures promising you a vacation paradise while selling you a patch of worthless Florida swamp. This wasn't shameful. It was Americana. In the 1962 Warner Brothers film The Music Man, Harold Hill sweeps into town to sell kids a marching band that doesn't exist, conning families with a smile and a song. You got trouble, right here in River City.
I say Broadway's biggest long-run hit is coming right here to your screen. Yes, Professor Harold Hill's on hand. Now for a peek at the Music Man. Not a big peek, just a little peek at the wonders that await you in Technicolor. Are you out there? And you? And you?
300E Benz.
Joey O'Brien loves to sell cars.
Benz. Oh, Benz. Mercedes-Benz. Mercedes-Benz. Oh. Right now you're probably thinking, hey, this is not the car for me. But with a touch of one button, max headroom.
Not everyone in America was laughing at the hustlers. Arthur Miller's Death of a Salesman was one of the most read and performed plays of its time. Willy Loman built his life upon the American dream. Be well-liked, be charming. It's not about what you know.
It's who you know.
It's who you know.
Someday I'll have my own business and I'll never have to leave home anymore.
Like Uncle Charlie, huh?
Bigger than Uncle Charlie, because Charlie is not liked. He's liked, but he's not well liked.
It was the sales pitch of the dream versus the fine print no one reads.
Pop, I am a dime a dozen, and so are you.
I am not a dime a dozen. I am Willie Loman, and you are Pip Loman.
I am not a leader of men, Willie, and neither are you.
Willy Loman is ordinary, but he buys into the illusion that being well-liked and charming is all you need to be successful. And that's how he raised his sons. He left behind two young men with glossy American dream nicknames who end up lost and disillusioned. Miller wasn't just writing about one family. He was warning us. Self-worth can't come from how others see you. And a society that values salesmanship over honesty will break its own people.
Nobody dares to blame this man. You don't understand. Willie was a salesman. Salesman has got a dream, boy. Comes with the territory.
The hustler ethic shaped both our comedy and our tragedies. But Bugs taught us, if you can bend the rules, laugh in authority's face, and walk away smirking, you're not the villain, you're the hero.
Hoaxster, snake oil salesman, loud-talking hustler who promises everything and delivers nothing.
And by the mid-century, hustlers weren't just jokes. They were becoming role models. What happens when hustlers stop being the punchline and start becoming the people we look up to? By the 1960s and 70s, hustlers weren't just on the Midway or in small towns. They were everywhere in American culture. On TV, the shady salesman became and remains a stock character. Movies glamorized the con artist, the guy who could charm you while picking your pocket. And then came the 1980s, when the hustler put on a three-piece suit and became America's favorite anti-hero. Remember J.R. Ewing on Dallas? Ruthless, scheming, and living in luxury? What about Gordon Gekko in Wall Street?
The richest 1% of this country owns half our country's wealth, $5 trillion. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, greed is good. Greed works.
He's using you, kid, but you're too blind to see it.
Stick around, pal. I still got a lot to teach you. Now, you're not naive enough to think we're living in a democracy, are you, buddy? It's the free market. And you're part of it.
Oliver Stone wrote Gekko as a cautionary tale. His "greed is good" speech was satire, meant to parody Wall Street excess. Michael Douglas played him as a sleek villain, soulless and cold, but the audience didn't care. Young stockbrokers copied his look. Finance guys quoted his lines. Douglas himself said he was shocked. He thought people would hate Gekko. Instead, they idolized him, which is exactly the point.
I mean, I was the bad guy. I was the villain. It's always shocked me how many people on Wall Street have said, "Oh man, you're the reason I became a stockbroker." It's always made me a little disturbed that people just love that character as much as they did.
Winning had become so ingrained in American culture that even a trickster written as a warning got absorbed as a role model. Hustlers weren't just clowns anymore. They were stars, aspirational, sexy. And that wasn't a bug in the system. It was bugs in the system.
Okay. Safety first. Safety is first. We don't want to get a bad reputation.
It was one thing when the hustlers were on stage and screen. But what happens when they start running Wall Street and Washington?
Oh, give me a home where the billionaires roam and the oil and the cattlemen play with their gushing oil wells and super hotels and count up their money all day. And that ain't hay.
Fast forward to today. The hustlers aren't just characters anymore. They're real, and they're running the show. Billionaires troll on social media, gaming markets with tweets, truths, and memes. Corporate giants bend tax codes while building global empires. Private equity firms strip companies bare and call it efficiency. That was the whole greed is good thing. And politicians twist laws, survive scandals, and walk away smirking. Sometimes even more popular than before. And the political playbook now includes something very familiar: humiliation. Rivals get branded with mocking nicknames, reporters get belittled on live TV, and whole campaigns are built on ridicule, with crowds cheering every punchline. And it doesn't seem to stop at party lines. Both sides have learned the same thing. In today's politics, it's not enough to win the argument. You have to humiliate your opponent.
President Obama will go down as perhaps the worst president in the history of the United States! Exclamation point at real Donald Trump.
No one is happier, no one is prouder to put this birth certificate matter to rest than the Donald. And that's because he can finally get back to focusing on the issues that matter. Like, did we fake the moon landing?
That's Bugs logic. It's all about who gets the last laugh. And online, the whole internet runs on the same fuel. Memes, trolling, viral pranks. Humiliation as entertainment. Humiliation as power. We didn't just laugh at Bugs Bunny. We absorbed him. And now his trickster playbook is everywhere. In business, in politics, in culture, and in the way we treat each other. But if that's true, what does it mean for us now?
School, or bottoms up. Gosh, ain't I a stinker?
Mickey Mouse was once America's symbol of optimism. Today, his name means trivial. We'll take a close look at how that happened in the next episode. Meanwhile, Bugs Bunny never softened. His ethos, cheat, mock, humiliate, get away with it, seeped into American culture until it became our operating system. From the movies to Saturday morning cartoons, to hustlers and salesmen, to Wall Street, Washington, and Silicon Valley, the trickster rules. And that's the sketchy truth.
Maybe there's a little bugs in all of us.
Can you imagine anybody acting like that? You know, I think the poor guy's screwy.
That's it for this file. We're classifying it as a sketchy cartoon. If you enjoyed this episode, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and click on the bell so that you don't miss what we uncover next. Thanks for watching. Please join us next time on The Maybe Files.
What have I done? I've killed a rabbit.